One more quick note about geometry is that it can be saved into its own file, exported, and then imported into other data files that you might be doing the same kind of analysis on. Let's look at that real quick. If I were to create a simple geometry container, as we've been doing, select it, choose the line drawing tool, draw a line through the Adriatic Sea, go out of the line drawing tool. Let's create a second geometry. We'll call it Sicily coast. And we will similarly select it, click, and draw a line down here. Leave the line drawing tool. Now, at any point, I can select on one of these geometries. Again, I'm in the file manager doing this. Go to the vector menu, export a shapefile. A shapefile is one of many sort of geographic data file types. In this case, when you export a shapefile, you actually create several files as a result. Let's export the Adriatic shapefile, select the Sicily coast, vector, export, shapefile. Just so you notice in the gray text there's 2, 4, 6 files created by the export of the Adriatic shapefile. When you import a shapefile, that action will usually require that other files with different extensions be present in the same directory for it to pull all the information together to understand the geography and the geometry defined in the shapefile. So let's create this second one here. I'll save that out. Now, if, as I have in this case, were to create a second file, let me go back a minute. If I select on this, go to the Edit Properties menu, I can get a quick summary of the file I'm looking at. It's from 28th of July of 2015. So I'm going to open from, as it happens, this same folder. There's the 728. I want the January 14. I've already created a reprojected subset dim file. I'll open that product. I'll look at its SST, which is of a similar area, but obviously different data. If I were to, with that image being portrayed in CDAS, were to import a shapefile, I could go back to the folder I put that in, which is down here and in here. Right, and there's my Adriatic shapefile, and down here's the Sicily coast shapefile. I'll just choose the Sicily coast, open that, and as you see, I now have in this file's vectors the Sicily coast. It renamed it with this %20 to represent the blank that I have. But anyhow, I can manipulate that geometry in this other file. Now, I would also note that, in fact, if I were to go to my data directory here that I'm working in and open one of these unreprojected, just the raw SST that I downloaded from the Ocean Color site, and open that SST image, now we have an unreprojected, you throw a lat long grid and you can see sort of the Earth turning effect, so-called Barber pole effect. But even if with that in view, if I import a shapefile, that geography is actually understood in whatever environment, whatever projection I'm working in. So it shouldn't have any trouble if I import the Sicily coast. Open that. We see a line along the Sicily coast here, even though this data has not been reprojected. The fact is, if the vectors folder of the data file contains geometry, then it will be brought along in any reprojection operation. So if I reproject it, I would actually have these two geometries in the resulting file. But there's no reason to do that by default. You can. I just wanted to demonstrate that what is defined in the shapefile is sort of projection invariant. It understands where on Earth you're dealing with. Obviously, this transect line is not. It is cutting through a warped geography because this is unreprojected data. Just understand that. Okay, so you can import and export geometries, which is all the more reason to create separate containers, and you can manipulate them individually, whether it be to modify them, sample data using them, or to save and retrieve them through the import-export operation.